Welcome back to Beards and Brews, everybody. This week's review is going to be a little spooky. We got Tremors from 1990.
Would you shut up?
Now, just to start off, I know this is a Brady pick, but man, I love the chemistry between Val and Errol.
Yeah, to be honest, in the beginning, I wasn't sure if I maybe accidentally put on Brokeback Mountain or something, but these guys were awfully flirty together.
In the best of ways, the chemistry between Kevin Bacon and Fred Ward. The chemistry between Kevin Bacon and Fred Ward really sell this.
At first, I thought it was Burt Ward, the guy who played the original Robin. I was like, oh, this guy's
See,
more
at first
ugly.
I thought it was fucking Lyle Lovett, just with less hair. But
It just makes me think of John Lovitz. It stinks.
And it turns out they do stink. Maybe the alive ones smell more than the dead ones.
Look, any movie that opens up with its main character pissing off a cliff, you know it's going to be an hour and 30 minutes of gold.
That's going to be a golden shower, huh?
Oh, yeah.
But what struck me about this movie is that it's super well made, but it feels like it should have been made for like $5.
yeah, like there's, you've got A-list star, I guess. You got Kevin Bacon in there. You've got Reba fucking McEntire in there. How did they talk her into this?
They said they were going to use her song at the end of the movie.
Yeah. Okay. That explains it.
Didn't even use one of her good ones, though.
They had to pay extra for the good ones. Come on. But that's not even a bash, but like, it just feels like this movie should suck. I feel like this movie should just be terrible, but it's just fun. They use everything in the best ways. They get the best out of their actors, and for what they had, like effects-wise, it was extremely effective.
Yeah, it looked great. My end recap note, whenever, we normally wrap and stuff, it says it shouldn't be good, but it is.
Yeah. That's exactly what I brought up. I feel like this should just be like a sci-fi movie. May the sequels rip in peace. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's got like a little bit of charm, and I think it has to do almost completely with the back and forth between Earl and Val, or Kevin Bacon and
Fred Ward.
Yeah.
I mean, they start each day with breakfast and stampedes.
Well, how many cows makes up a stampede?
Minimum of 3.
I like that. It's just like not quite like Tarantino bullshittery, but it's just two dudes being dudes. That's whatever. Just guys being dudes. Guys just fucking mulling over just nonsense. Whatever.
Picking at each other, and the fucking soundtrack cues up at the right time every time.
Yeah, it's like everything has a like southwestern like little twang, and of course this takes place in a town called Perfection, which is fictional, but it's in Nevada.
Is it?
Yeah.
Did they say that? Okay.
No, the only reason why I know that is because fucking Bert's license plate says Uzi for you, Nevada.
Yeah.
He's out there for that geographic isolation.
Yeah.
I looked it up, and this was actually filmed in California. Where else?
Close enough.
So, again, we're going to go right back to our main little characters here, Val and Earl. A couple of handy men, Earl. They are handy men.
Yeah, I don't actually know really what they did, like what their profession was, where they lived even.
In a trailer. In the
Yeah.
middle of Perfection Valley.
Together?
Yep.
Not surprised.
I mean, 5 feet apart because they're not gay.
Obviously, yeah.
One sleeps in a hammock.
A banana hammock?
If that's what you want to envision, Chandler.
That might be what they prepare their breakfast in, but who knows? Neither here nor there.
Shaking his bologna and beans.
Well, how'd you get the beans above the Franks?
So, we get treated to them working around the ranch, the fucking wherever the fuck they are, and Kevin Bacon is trying to hammer this nail, and Fred Ward is just staring at him doing it, and he's just like whack, 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 missing like fucking 10,000 before he finally hits it. You can see Fred Ward, like this smirk starting to come up on his face as they just walk off the screen, so you know they walked right off camera and lost their shit.
I mean, I'm glad that we had the same reaction to that, because I'm like, really? Really? Okay, they kept that in. Alright, got it.
It was good. But we also get like a quick intro to these two characters. You got Val, who is the carefree horn dog who goes after one type of woman, and you got Earl, who is always thinking 1 week ahead. Here it is Saturday, and he's already planning for Sunday or some shit like that. And he's like, wait a minute, today is Sunday, right?
That is a whole week ahead.
Yeah, he's just plotting.
It's almost like these guys are like two of the three Stooges. So you have like Mo, which is Earl, and then you have Larry, which is Kevin Bacon. You know, you don't have any crazy silly character, but you have the guy that makes the plans, and the other guy's kind of just like, wait a minute, I think I know better for no reason.
Maybe it's like Dumb and Dumber, but set in the world of My Name is Earl.
Ooh.
Earl and Earler.
They get like this really fun moment. They're in the truck. This truck, by the way, I fucking love it. So they're pulling up, and he's like, there's a new student out here doing the seismology. And he goes, a new one, huh? I heard she's supposed to be a girl. And he fucking jerks the wheel on the truck and starts just ripping ass through the desert. He's like, you will have long blonde hair, world-class tits, and legs that go all the way up. And he fucking just locks up the brakes, covers this lady in dirt. And when the dirt clears, she's just like a regular chick.
Yeah, they don't like go into it too much, but apparently he has these like high expectations of every woman that he meets ever since like his ex that was just like
Tammy Lynn Baxter, okay? She's dead. But you know, you got to understand he's a victim of circumstance.
Well, I mean, when you got Fancy over there living in the town, you know, you got to have high expectations.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can't get more fancy than living in a hammock.
Victim of circumstance. Thought you called it your pecker. It's like Nickelodeon's Hey Dude, but better.
Hey.
Dude.
You know, they get introduced to Rhonda LeBeck, and she's like, I'm out here doing whatever. And he's like, well, all right, well, you ain't a supermodel, so I'm out. And then as soon as he's leaving, again, the soundtrack just fires up into that playful, like,
And this whole time, Earl's just giving him the death stare. He's like, really? Really? You're just going to pass on that?
Yeah. He's like, nope, don't want it.
Honestly, she was a fine-looking woman. I mean, she was perfectly reasonable-looking.
Bed for eating crackers.
Adequate.
She's adequate.
I feel like adequate is a mean word. She was fine.
Would you shut up?
I mean...
But they got so many fucking one-liners. It's like an action movie. They have all these little moments where they just say shit back and forth like that. That's one of them, and it's just fucking great.
It's just that chemistry. I don't know what it is. I didn't think... They just have like some great back and forth.
Fred fucking Ward.
Yeah.
Joe Dirt's dad.
Oh, God, you're right. It is.
Yep. Dirte. It's Dirte.
The Dirte clan are back.
So then they make it back to Perfection Valley, and we get a little something. Introduction there to the loud-ass refrigerator owned by fucking Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah,
that's the same guy from Big Trouble in Little China that played Egg Shen. So from here on out, I'm just going to call him Egg Shen.
Which is ridiculous, because I did not get the reference from the last cast that Brady kept calling him until I watched this. I was like, God damn it.
Oh, Chang. Slick as snot and I ain't lying.
Yeah, not only do we get introduced to that guy, but they kind of follow him around town. They do a bunch of like odd jobs and stuff. You'd see him just working around town, just being silly.
Just being dudes.
We get Bert and Heather introductions also, which is Bert Gummer, who has gone on to be in every single one of the Tremors films.
I mean, at that point, it's job security, so...
Yeah, and then we get Heather, his wife, a.k.a. old Reba.
They could bring Reba back. She's not doing nothing.
Our first little glimpse at the creature, though, is like a camera angle of it like tilting up from being knocked over, and then cruising after old Rhonda, going to make her into a snack. But you got to be quicker than that. She gets us out of a truck and drives away.
Yeah, I find that kind of odd, because they just kind of stop. And she just takes her diddly and just gets in the truck, humdy, checks her map or whatever, and just strolls in the town.
What are those words? Takes her diddly, humdy.
Yeah.
I can dig it. Can you dig it? He's like, we got to set our sights higher. And then it cuts to them fucking cleaning out a septic tank that breaks down while they're cleaning it.
Oh,
yeah,
they
get
covered
shat
in
all
poopy.
over.
Yeah.
Didn't that also happen in Joe Dirt?
That it did.
Yeah.
Joe Dirt may have had some influence.
I consider it canon.
I don't see why not.
Earl leaves Perfection, follows this dipshit with a bad haircut, leaves him at the Grand Canyon. There we go.
It all makes sense.
It leaves him in the desert for the graboids. There you go.
Yeah, they get doused in shit, and then they're like, that's it, I've had it, we're leaving, Perfection Valley for good, we're going to Bixby. They pack up their fucking truck and grab a vacuum cleaner and a nudie mag in his mouth. They're ready to go.
I like that little bit. He's like, why are you bringing that damn vacuum? I like it.
He's like, you never use it. He's like, I might get it made. Did you ever think of that? It's just like, what the fuck?
What I also enjoy about that is like they never explain like if Bixby's like a big town or like the grass is greener on the other side kind of town. It's just like I don't know. It's kind of like the finish line. Like you'd rather be there.
Somewhere that isn't here. It's the next one over. It doesn't have any of this shit going on.
Maybe it's just a little bit better that I can get there on a tank of gas.
It's like 5 houses instead of 4.
Just right outside city limits.
I bet they have 2 bars.
Oh, damn.
Also owned by Walter Chang.
And a Waffle House.
So
now you got me sweating.
Ooh, give me them hash browns, smothered and covered. Maybe chunk too.
that soundbite's going to be the whole cast.
As they're rolling out of town, though, on their way to Bixby, they're stopped by, I don't know the lady's name, but I know she's Mindy's mom, this little girl on a pogo stick. Unimportant character, no one cares. So she's like, hey, I got some work for you guys to do. They're like, nope, that's it. We're packing up, we're leaving for good. She goes, yeah, right. And sees the truck is packed, and she's like, well, damn. While throwing lunches and beer.
And beer.
They have to fucking take a moment and look at each other. And
They
then
start
again,
sweating.
yeah. And then again, the music fucking kicks up, and it's like, and it shows them.
Down.
Yeah, they're in the fucking truck, and he's like, we looked temptation in the eye and did not bid, and goddamn praise the Lord. Just...
and if the credits rolled right there, it'd be a damn near perfect movie.
Yeah, like there's a monster, they rolled out, and they said no to beer, it was alright.
2 days from now, they get like the paper, like perfection destroyed and catastrophic whatever. It's like, we did it. Luck is on our side.
But luck was not on their side, because as they're leaving town, they see Edgar in his one damn jacket sitting at the top of a power tower.
Fucking.
And I guess he's like the town drunk or whatever.
Yeah.
With a name like Edgar, you have to be.
Edgar winds up being Deadgar as Kevin Bacon kind of like strolls up on him.
You goddamn booze hound. Is it kind of funny that, you know, this alcoholic died of thirst?
I mean,
Funny?
his name was Edgar.
Edgar Winter? We going back to that?
He's albino.
But we're about 20 minutes into the film. If that. If that. And shit starts taking off. Like crazy now. Everyone starts fucking dying.
Taking off. Yeah, we got weird stuff happening all over the place. There's a farmer that gets got. The seismograph is going off. I'm sorry, it might just be the context of this movie, but I'm going to talk like this for the rest of it, and y'all can just deal with it if you want.
Alright, Reba.
The way information is relayed is basically through Burt Ward and Kevin Bacon trying to escape the town and just finding more weird shit before they leave.
Yeah, like, they're fucking leaving, and they see old Fred's flock all chewed up, and he's like, hey there, old Fred! And there's old Fred's hat, lifts up the hat, there's old Fred's head.
Yeah,
Yep.
Fred's dead.
Yeah, he's like, what the hell is going on? Ugh! Throws the hat down.
The way it happens and the how quick it happens, it almost reminds me of that bit in The Jerk when that dude's trying to kill Steve Martin and he's just shooting those cans. It's like, huh, that man hates these cans. It's just like they think it's a murderer running around doing all this shit.
Yeah, there's some psycho out here cutting people's heads off. They're just pulling our chains.
Oof. I totally thought the town was gonna be like, wait a minute, are they the murderers? He's just gonna like spin around or something?
Like, if this was your first time watching the film, I watched this when I was young, so I never would have like thought that. But they could have had like a whole subplot going on where they went, man, Val and Earl lost their shit, fucking killing people because old Fred's head gets chopped off. Suddenly, you know, the two construction workers, they get brain bucketed with little clumps of hair left in their helmets.
Get it? Yeah.
Just everything on the way back to town and out of town is dead, and the last people to see these people who are now dead is Val and fucking Earl, and they're like, it's a monster.
Of course it is. Now,
Then
don't make any sudden movements.
Look, you gotta get to Bixby and step on it. Consider it stepped on. Yeah.
But they actually try and step on it, but, you know, there was a rock slide and the road collapsed, so they can't.
And no one's even a little bit concerned because I think they all know they're just a couple of idiots. Whatever, they play in the poopy.
Plays in the you there. Show me them titties, or I hit the bomb and it go boom.
It go boom.
But you know, they come back to see that they had just left these two construction workers who are now dead. They jump in their truck to flee. They back up, slam into the side of a hill, and they're hung up.
And I love how like it goes from oh shit, this is kind of an emergency. Like, what the fuck did you do wrong? Just
Yeah,
immediately just starts hacking on him.
Yeah, he's like, oh no, let me load this firearm and fucking roast you for your driving skills. He's like, you gonna break it, or he's like, you gonna burn up the clutch. Then they finally break loose, and it's like, oh. That's how you break an axle. He's like, cry baby.
However close to death they were, just roasted to the end.
Yeah, they pull back into town, and they got this fucking thing hanging out from under the truck, and they're like, oh my god, where'd you get it? He's like, I didn't know we had it.
I like how there are 3 distinctive reactions to that. 1, ew, oh my god. 2, you want $15 for that? And 3, hey,
is that a penis?
Money.
Is that a penis? Old shovel Bert crumbs up under there and knocks it off, and he's like, ugh, government experiment.
I mean, some people, have balls on their hitch. Might as well go the next step forward.
This is like got a scene too. You get Mindy's mom, and she's chastising them for selling the thing for $15. And then you see her in a later scene getting her daughter's picture taken with the goddamn thing for $5.
Capitalism at its finest. It's a bit of a running theme. Like, no matter how ridiculous things get, how dangerous things get, there's always that little thing in the back of their minds, like, hey, how can we make a little money on the side?
Yeah, these are fucking real dudes. They're, even later on, it's how we gonna get this money? No matter what, got to get that money. Then it cuts to the Doc and his wife, and they're sitting out there talking about how they're gonna build their nice house, and suddenly the lights go out.
Is that the night the lights went out in Georgia?
The night the lights went out in Perfection Valley, more like it, sir.
Oh, okay. I forgot where we were.
That'd be Nevada, Mr. Geography.
All right, thank you.
So the generator's gone, and he's like, well, where'd it go? Maybe there's a cave down here, and then it spits the fuck up out of the ground. And he's like, maybe it's a geyser. They smell like that. You remember Yellowstone? At this point, I would have been like, what the fuck are you talking about?
That's exactly what happens, because he's like, oh, curiosity, question mark, what's all this? Ooh, woo. And, like, his wife is, like, tugging on his shoulder, like, come the fuck on. I don't trust any of this. Let's go.
Of course. He has to be like, nah, I know what's right. And then he gets it. He was swallowed.
Yeah.
And, man, could you imagine that shit?
I mean, like, as it was going down, it wasn't, like, all at once. He wasn't munched or anything. He was pulled into, like, halfway, and then you just hear a big, like, ripping sound.
And then the rest of him goes. And, fuck. To be pulled under the ground and swallowed would be awful. Like, that's a fucking shitty way to go.
Yeah, I got all those weird dicks everywhere trying to bite you.
Yeah. So the wife is trying to save him, but she can't, so she jumps in her car to hide from this creature that she doesn't have an understanding of. And this creature sends out its, like, tentacle beast thingies that I guess find out that they need to bury her station wagon. Her radio kicks on, which I thought 100%, even the wife agreed, this was a missed opportunity for a Reba song.
Oh, I mean, I don't see why they didn't do it. It's money. But, like, I don't see why not.
Yeah, because, we were speaking of her other songs. Nights the Lights Went Out in Georgia. The fucking station wagon's lights go directly up into the air and then go out. Had that been on in the background, you'd be like, shit, look at that.
Oh, I thought that was a super clever way that they didn't have to dig a big ass hole for that car.
Yeah, just tilt, fade them out.
This was my first time seeing this movie, full disclosure. And this was actually the first time you actually see any of the worms in the movie.
Yes.
And honestly, I thought that they were going to be a lot bigger than they were. It turns out they were.
Chandler is unimpressed.
He's like, look at these little ass worms. Wait,
yeah, they just like look like little dick snakes.
Well, there's a big old dick snake coming later. So it cuts to Bert sitting in the town, and he's got a real plan. He's like, what we need to do is hunker down, load some guns, and get ready for this shit. If it's coming right for us, we'll be ready. And everyone's like, Bert, you're a fucking idiot.
Well, he's a conspiracy guy. No one's going to take him seriously. He's got the mustache and everything.
Yeah, but if someone just drug in a fucking 6-foot-long devil snake mutation, I'd be like, hand me a gun, buddy. Let's do this, because fuck that thing.
Well, hell, even that kid later on was like, hey, give me a gun. To which it was replied, I wouldn't give you a gun if it were World War III.
But you gotta ask yourself, who's the best on a horse? Fucking camera slow turns to Val and Earl, who slow turn around on their stools like shit.
Handyman to the rescue.
Yeah. They're gonna ride them horses out to Bixby.
A quick little thing just between those bros being dudes. So they have to bring some firearms with them or whatever. And so they have Edgar's gun too, and they rock, paper, scissors over it. And Kevin Bacon wins. He's like, yes, got a cool gun. And then Earl gets on his horse, and Reba McEntire's like, hey, take this giant rifle that I had. It's way better than any gun ever. He's like, all right, gotcha. Snide stare right at Kevin Bacon. He's like, whatever.
I got you, bitch.
She's like, whoa, you're gonna need more power than that. Why don't you take one of my Browning autos? Or better yet, take my Model 70. It's got 375 H&H Magnum. And he's like, well, thank you. Just takes
got a lot of letters and numbers.
Yeah.
Got that little smirk and tip of the hat kind of thing.
And then we get our first glimpse that Melvin is a douche.
Which one's Melvin?
The fucking kid that comes out and he's like, Snake's got me!
Oh, yeah, I hate that kid.
We
He
all
should
do.
have got.
Yeah,
He
he was
almost-
close. This close.
Not close enough.
His father, unfortunately, had to pay for his sins.
Yeah. Have you guys seen The Wonder Years?
Oh, yeah.
He looks like the douchey brother.
Yeah, he does. Shit, who...
He's just like, yeah, that's right.
Now, I was thinking about, you were right about that, but whenever I was watching it, I was thinking about the oldest brother from Home Improvement. He kind of looks like him, too.
Oh, Brad?
Check out the big brain on Brad. You a smart motherfucker, Brad. That's right. Because of the metric system.
What?
That's from Pulp Fiction.
Oh. Let's move on.
Royale with cheese.
So they hop on the horses, and they ride out to the Doc's house. And they're like, well, there ain't nobody home. Must be in Bixby. We just missed him. And Kevin Bacon goes, well, where's the goddamn golden oldies come from? Buried.
Yeah, it was a nice little, reveal, because, we know, he got sucked underneath the ground, so they just kind of, dig a little bit, and you just have that giant Ford grill of that station wagon. And the lights are still on and everything.
Yep.
So, I feel like they probably should have dug more, because I feel like they just kind of left it at the light being on. They don't know if there's anybody in that or not. They just ride away.
I mean, I kind of had that thought, too, maybe she's still in there, but then I realized they ran away, it doesn't matter, she's dead.
Oh, yeah.
It's a reoccurring theme that you guys, I guess you missed it. These guys are supposed to be the heroes. They do something semi-heroic and then immediately save my ass or get some money. It's just, that's the way it works through the whole fucking thing.
Just have two Southwestern anti-heroes running around.
Yeah, that's, can't blame them. Then we get a cut of them riding like hell out in the desert and with a plan. It's all about having a plan. The horses get spooked, they get thrown, and then one of the horses is getting et.
I mean, to be fair, Kevin Bacon with that shitty drunkard's gun, he actually had a good shot on the thing.
Yeah, this movie loves the fucking curse, sons of bitches.
Everything's the sons of bitches. It's almost like it's a verb and a noun.
He's like, that's how they get you. They're under the goddamn ground. What are they? Sons of bitches. He shoots the fucking single one that they see. And then the ground below them swells up like a fucking, volcano's about to erupt. And he's like, must be a million of them. Fucking ground explodes. Nope, just one.
And boy, is that one ugly motherfucker.
It looks so fucking cool. Yeah, the tentacle monster tongue. It's fucking cool. Yeah, the tentacle monster tongue. It's fucking cool looking.
But even in the face of this rotten-looking thing, they're already, looking around, just doing the math, see what they can do for their next step. And on their way there, they, cross that little, man-made little creek or whatever, that little service thing. And so he's like, hey, let's run over there.
Let's get the fuck out of here. And he's like, he's gaining on us!
And it has this, really cool thing. And as they're running and it's following them, there's, an overhead shot of this fence that's kind of in the way. And as it gets closer, it just knocks it down, bit by bit.
Yeah, just each little post is ripping down.
There's a lot of that in this movie. It's fucking cool. It's they, of course, can't have this, monster on top of the ground all the time. So, there's a lot of shit that breaks itself, so it seems like it's there.
Yeah, the scene that comes a bit later when they're at the town and the patio porch deck thing is out there. It's no, when it's going by the shop, and it's
the deck.
board is popping up. Yeah, it looks fucking cool.
Yeah. So they haul ass and they run across the thing and they try to jump it, but they're both white, so they don't make it. And this thing is just trailing behind them super, super fast, and it just smacks right into the concrete.
Just boom, and they start like jumping and pawing at the top, like, oh no, we fucked up. And then you hear boom as like the whole fucking wall cracks, half explodes, and he's like, that stupid son bitch knocked himself cold.
And a bunch of like goop or whatever falls out of the hole, and like the snaky dick thing just like falls out all dead and whatnot.
It flops out. He's like,
That's how
cold
I
my
know it.
ass. He's dead.
Well, fuck you!
Yes! That is so fucking good. Just Kevin Bacon's face, just fuck you!
Hey, I found the ass end.
Yeah. Not only that, but like it's another instance where like they found this thing. Where's the money in it? Where is it, huh?
Yeah, old Chang ain't getting his slick mitts on it for no 15 measly dollars, I tell you that. Because the first thing they do is like they're sitting there, they're talking. Rhonda walks up on this and she's like, oh my god, what is that? And he's like, yeah, we're heroes. We killed it. And she's like, wow. And she does a lot of explaining to let you know how this thing works with the little lumps on its body and how it can move through the terrain.
What I like about her character is that it's very clear that she is only a seismologist. But everybody in this fucking town just thinks, hey, she's a scientist. She knows everything.
Right? You're the smart one.
Fucking yokels. Holy shit.
And by the way, she's a seismology student. By the way, she's a student.
So Kevin Bacon uncovers like a large portion of it, and they find the ass in, like Chandler was saying. And like you were saying, Eric, they're trying to figure out how to get the money. And he's like, we got to get us a truck in here and winch it. And he's like, no. Don't want to winch it. I'm going to tear it all up. And you got to get a crane with lifting straps. And then Rhonda's like, guys, shut the fuck up. There's 3 more of these things.
Yeah. They're just in the middle of the plan business. That's all, you know.
Yeah, got to get that money. And then they're like, we got to get the fuck out of here. They start taking off, and Earl steps in a goddamn prairie dog hole.
I mean, to be fair, that was a really clever kind of like jump scare, whatever. Yeah. Because even he thought as a character, like, ah, shit, it got me.
Yeah, like he just reaching for the sky, like, Lord, help me.
Nope, just a prairie dog, a goddamn prairie dog.
And then Kevin Bacon tosses the shovel from the hand it's in to the other hand, all aggressively. Sons of bitches.
Like they're in on it too.
Yeah. But it was also really good because that stopped him right in front of the seismograph, and it's triggering, and they're like, "Oh shit, get on top of that rock!" And here comes old Stumpy.
Stumpy. So while they're up there, they're just trying to like mull over these ideas, like how to get off this thing, because apparently, according to the seismologist, even though they're on the rock and safe, it can still hear or feel their vibrations as they walk and talk around.
Well, hey, who died and made her Einstein?
Einstein. Rest in peace.
They have to spend the night on the rock, and they wake up and there's a little romantic moment. Nothing super special, but it's developing the love interest for all those people out there who need that. These movies do this because this is the dude movie, but you want your girl to watch it, and she wants to have that romantic vibe, so they throw that in there for you.
Yeah, I gotta throw in some desert spooning, get the gals interested.
It's romantic comedy, I swear. And then they gotta figure out if it's still there, and they're like, hey, we need to know if that thing's still there. Why don't you go check? And Kevin Bacon, he has like such a good line. He goes, why is me every goddamn time?
I mean, we find out later on he's just like the one that gets the shit knocked out of him all the time, just beat up.
Yeah, it's fun, and they find out the thing's still there. The lighthearted soundtrack kicks back up as Rhonda decides, hey, we can pole vault the fuck out of here.
With the residual boulders.
You know it, because her truck's parked right next to one. Little red Mazda.
Okay, that made me laugh a little bit. He's like, well, where's your truck? Over there. And I'm thinking like over there means like, okay, just in eyesight. And it just like cuts over and you see like barely the roof of it, like it's almost a mile away. I'm like, what?
Well, you can hop there. By the residual boulders.
With a vaulting montage.
Yeah.
Except poor Earl, he can't quite get it right.
Yeah, he has. Well, Kevin Bacon knew that because Earl didn't get right on the first time, he had to give it a spit take. Both hands.
Old JT style.
Yeah.
That's
so we're
warmed up.
Exactly. We're treated to that little montage, and then they finally, on 3, vault into the Mazda. Fucking Rhonda dives head first into the driver's cab, their legs still sticking out, and somehow drives them out of there.
Yeah. How did she reach the gas pedal?
Talent.
They make it to town. They explain what's going on. And the fucking yokels, you were talking about this. The yokels are just like, well, tell me what they're doing. She's like, I don't know what they are. Well, what are they called? No one's ever seen them before. Well, where are they from? No one's ever seen them before. Well, what are they doing? No one knows because no one's ever seen them before. They're just
we
like,
should give them a name.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is as soon as it came across that no one knows what it was, all these light bulbs started to like brighten up everywhere. It was like, we got to name this thing.
Well, we found it. We should get to name it.
Like a snakeoid or something.
And then Chang's like, oids. I like oids. He's like, they just wait under the ground. They come up and grab you. And then all of a sudden he's like, graboids.
And Kevin Bacon's just like, some bitch or whatever, and just like slams his hat against the table.
Yeah, he's like, this valley's one big long smorgasbord. They're coming right for us. And no one gives a fuck.
They're coming right at us, Ned.
This has got Patrick Duffy for a leg. So they decide that the only way out is to take one of the four-wheel drive trucks and take it up the old Jeep trail, up by the mountains, through the rocks where the things can't follow them. Well, as they're putting that together, Melvin decides that he's going to be a douche again and throws a basketball in the fucking window.
Oh, yeah, God, that fucking kid. I wish he'd just get eat.
So he's like, God damn it, Melvin! And he goes out there to fuck him up, and then when he goes out there to kick Melvin's ass, he can't find him. He's like, Melvin, get your ass down from there.
And they tease me. I thought that shit-ass kid got swallowed. I was happy.
Yeah.
At that point, I was just like, good.
Yeah.
But he didn't. He was hiding atop a light pole. And guess what? They're here.
Yeah, the graboids make their way, or have finally made their way into perfection. So everybody's like, shh, quiet, everybody. Nobody make a move. No vibrations. No noises.
And then you hear Mindy's fucking pogo stick.
God damn, Mindy.
That little bit's fucking perfect. It's like everybody's just like tense. Holy shit. Everybody, calm the fuck down. And then you realize, oh, that little shit girl's still going for a world record outside.
Yeah, she's like, fuck it, I'm doing this. And so...
oh no, she still has her headphones on.
Kevin Bacon has to like sprint across the street, tackle her off the pogo stick that gets sucked down and spit out. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but he just saved the girl. Just saved her. Whenever the fucking graboid comes out of the ground, he's like, run! And takes off to the left and leaves him.
Is that what we're calling it? Graboid? Is that official?
That's what they're termed, yes.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Well, I always call them Tremors.
But Tremors is what they cause.
Yeah,
I think they should be called big worm dicks with dicks for tongues, because that's what they are.
It's not long enough, though.
But then the second one pops out of the ground, and Rhonda takes off running and gets tangled up in some barbed wire. And, man, this looks so fucking cool. It shows you like the talent of the people working on this film in the effects department. This thing emerges and its beak maw opens, unleashing its little tentacle servants covered in slime, and it looks so fucking cool.
The graboid itself, or whatever, the big dick, whatever. Yeah, that looks amazing. I thought you said, I thought you were going to say that part of her getting tangled in the barbed wire was cool. That was fucking stupid.
Yeah, when she took off her pants. Yeah. That was nice.
Well, look, you would get hot and take off your pants too if some dude with a Minecraft pickaxe showed up and saved you.
Alright, you got me.
And then that's when the boards cascading scene happens, where they get chased back inside.
But luckily, Mr. Chang has a nice pair of Chucks and Levi's for her, just hanging out.
Very conveniently her size. Good on Ed Chang.
Look, she gets dressed, but as fucking Kevin Bacon's putting the iodine on her, it pans over and shows Earl's face, and he's got the cigarette that's like pointed normal, and then he like smiles and points it up like, that's hot. Kevin Bacon like quickly takes his hands off her thighs and shit.
Earl's just like, dang, and Kevin Bacon's just like, aight.
You got me.
Yeah.
And then, the loud ass refrigerator fires up.
As soon as they show that in the beginning, it's just making some random sounds like, oh, that's going to be a thing later on. Yeah.
But it comes up, and fucking eats Walter Chang. It eats him. He was fucking swallowed.
Damn it.
Crazy eyes.
He did have like the saddest death out of everybody. He totally didn't deserve it.
No. He was just like, oh no, my refrigerator. Not the only person here with a job.
I mean, he gave them everything. Gave them food, drink, shelter, pants, and he even named the big dick things.
Yep, my favorite pair of characters have been separated now. No more bacon and eggs.
Oh.
Because Kevin Bacon, Egg Shen, come on, there's a joke in there somewhere.
You got it. But the worst part is, he picked the wrong dude to eat. He's going to be hungry again in 30 minutes.
Oh.
Ooh.
And then, of course, Kevin Bacon screams, son of a bitch! Which triggers Tremor number 2 to explode up.
Tremor 2.
He comes up out of the ground and he's like, roar!
Let's say if you call them Tremors and there's just like a really big one. And the big one's Tremors, so would the little ones be Aftershocks?
Well, there's Stumpy and the unnamed trio.
They're just big old dick worms.
Dick worms. So he gets everybody up on the roof. Get to the roof!
Not everybody, because that dumb bitch falls through the window outside.
Oh yeah, for whatever reason she has the heroism to like jump across these aisles or whatever, and when they come cascading down, she's like, "Oh, suddenly I'm afraid of everything."
She likes Mario. She's like, do 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 boop, and falls out the window. But she's alright. She crawls right up a ladder on top of that water tower.
She's fast.
Yes, she is. You didn't think she's gonna catch that long ball, but she did, because she's fast as shit.
So she smashed through the window, action rolled to the ladder. Whoop.
Yeah, it was just up there before anyone else fucking noticed.
But this is kind of like their little resting area because, you know, they can't touch the ground, obviously. So they have this opportunity to get hold of Bert on that little shortwave radio.
Yeah, he's like, Chang, come on back. Where you at, Walter? What the hell's going on? Why y'all up on the roof? And this is so good because they were out tracking these, graboids. They're trying to find them, trying to hunt them, trying to kill them. Well, they don't know what they're really hunting for, and Kevin Bacon's trying to explain to them that these things are way bigger and they're in the ground. And then Bert's just like, wait, you have to tell me again. Snap, crack, fucking bust open a crispy boy. And speaking of popping open a crispy boy.
God, I've been waiting for this. Oh, yeah. Today, what I have is from Weathered Ground Brewing Company from Cool Ridge, West Virginia. This is called The Lay of the Land, which I thought was appropriate for a movie about, things in the ground that destroy the land and all that stuff. Big old dick worms in the ground is what I'm saying.
Well, I had one that was called Big Old Dick Worm. I think you could have chugged that one.
All right. Lay of the Land. Lay of the Land is a farmhouse style, like a saison.
You good?
Ooh, smells a little bit spicy. Definitely a little tart. It's got a little bit of funk, but the good kind of funk. You know what I'm saying?
Like that ground funk.
We got the funk.
Oh yeah, that's got some funk. It's not weird or anything. A little bit of like, a little bit of ginger, like some tart Granny Smith apple or something.
Ooh, that sounds nice.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's good. That's real good.
Ooh, something that really graboids your attention.
Oh.
Hey, so I went with Sierra Nevada.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I did a torpedo extra IPA because these things were kind of like dirt torpedoes. 7.2% alcohol by volume. When I took my first drink, I always have to take 2 drinks before I will try to give it a taste because that first one needs to get on the palate. So I got the second drink, and man, it's fucking strong mid-palate, and it sits there powerfully. And very, 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 very strong hops, almost like so strong that it kind of reminded me of like shampoo. I didn't like it. It almost had like a overpowering orange rind taste. I wasn't a fan, but at the same time, as I was drinking it, I was like, man, this is the kind of shit that Chandler would be super into.
Just from your description, it sounds like it's fruity with a hint of Head and Shoulders.
I fucking love Torpedo. That's one of my absolute go-to beers. Like, I know if I go into somewhere and I'm like, man, this place is gonna have a shitty beer selection, at least they have Torpedo.
Reba has thrown some bullets and whatnot into this thing, and it's making a shit ton of noise.
Yeah, what was that?
I don't know. Like, I was
I know
confused
there's,
on
like,
what it was.
There's like some rocks in there, but it's not like some science experiments where you like smooth out those stones you found at the creek.
No,
I am a fan of firearms and firearm accessories, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck that is.
it makes bullets.
Okay.
I mean,
Bullets in and bullets come out.
they just got dirt on them. I don't know what the fuck it was doing. It's like just shaking bullets.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's legitimately what it is. Like, I don't know. It combines the like gunpowder and filler or whatever in there to something to where you can refill your bullet casings.
Bullet smoothie.
I mean, you might not be wrong.
But this thing's making like a shit ton of noise, and this whole time Kevin Bacon's like, listen, you guys need to get the fuck out of there or get to your roof, do something.
Yeah, he just keeps like emphasizing they're under the ground.
and Birch, well, I mean, they take him seriously for like a hot second. Like they get armed and they kind of looking out of their like basement windows and just waiting for something. They're like, wait a minute, something's weird, something fishy's going on. Suddenly they can hear this like noises outside the walls and whatnot.
Yeah, and then the fucking whole wall dents in but doesn't collapse yet, and they're like, what the hell? Yeah.
This is by far the best scene of the movie.
It's so fun.
Not only is it just like funny and just over the top and ridiculous, but it's so satisfying when you learn that all the shots of Reba and Bert, they were shot, at a soundstage or whatever, but all the shots of the graboid were all miniatures, and it's flawless.
It looks so fucking cool. Like, as it plows through the wall and sends out its little tongue things, and Bert and Reba start screaming, it fades away. This is all happening on the CB. It fades away back to Kevin Bacon. They're like, oh no. And then you just hear of them fucking letting loose on this thing. And then it cuts back to the rec room, and they're just grabbing every gun.
It's a really nice reveal because, like, they used a shotgun, they used that rifle, and then it, like, slide pans to the left, and they just have a wall of guns.
Jesus, that's a lot of guns.
Ooh, guns. And so they're fucking shooting the shit out of this thing, and it looks so cool as it's dying. It's like tearing up the ceiling, it's tearing up the floor.
And when I say the miniature was flawless, I mean there's no break in either shots or anything. It just goes back and forth, and it doesn't even look like it's completely separate. It's just amazing.
From what I understand, they did that all in one take too. The director turned to Reba McEntire and said, "Here's your one chance, Fancy. Don't let me down."
That's a good one.
That is a lie. That never happened. I just wanted to work that in there.
I mean, it works out because at the end of the movie, Reba's a survivor.
I'm a survivor. I see what you did there.
Wait, I thought that was Destiny's Child.
That's the jelly, right? Holler if you're ready for it. You get the jelly later when they blow one up.
I do love jelly.
So they shoot the fuck out of this thing. It collapses. It's like, ugh. And he's like, "You broke into the wrong goddamn rec room, didn't you, fucker?"
I like how there's like joy, but also like confusion at the same time because they don't know what the fuck just happened.
We just shoot. Yeah.
How they killed it. The last shot was just through this huge fucking elephant gun that he had behind glass, like preserved like a museum.
Like, we're never gonna need that. Well, I guess we did.
By the way, it was abundantly clear to me through that whole scene that Reba McEntire has never shot a gun in her life.
Well, she can sing. Like, jack of all trades, master of none kind of thing.
Master of one. Singing.
Master of one. They're fucking shooting the thing, it dies. He comes back across the CB, he's like, "We killed it! We killed it! We killed that mother humper!" Like, what the fuck? Like, they're just cussing, and all of a sudden he has to be like, "Mother humper."
They reached their curse limit. They didn't want to be rated R.
No, they say "son bitch" at least 3 more times.
That's okay. You can have like 8 some bitches, 3 shits, and maybe 1 fuck.
Alright.
Yeah, I don't think some bitch counts. It wasn't on George Carlin's list. Right?
They hit their fuck limit.
Yeah, so that's why they only said tits once. No, he said breasts. Never mind.
Yep.
Breasts. And then Kevin Bacon's like, "Congratulations, but there are 2 more mother humpers."
It's a good dub. It's not like a terrible liar dub. Or Yippee-Ki-Yay, Mr. Falcon.
Yeah. they need to speed the movie along, so they start, the Tremors are smart too. The Graboids, they're smart. Look, they're tearing up the foundations. And only one person doesn't have a foundation, and that's old Nestor.
Which is that shitty kid's dad, by the way.
Yeah, just fucking immediately knocks his trailer over. He falls down to the ground. They're like, get up off the ground, Nestor. You gotta get up on top of something. And he's like, ugh, and crawls on top of a fucking tire.
Yeah, his bright idea was
No, that's not high enough. You got. Because you a dumb bitch. Tire's not roof.
When it gets him, that was one of the creepiest things because it sucks him down and he's still screaming as it's tunneling towards his son, and his son gets to hear his father screaming under the ground.
But up to this point, everything that kid's done in this movie's been fucking annoying, so we're just like, eh.
Yeah, I have in here, annoying kid, whine some more.
Exactly. This kid just lost the only parent he had left, and we're just like, eh.
Shut up, kid, deal with it.
No one likes you, Melvin. Go die.
Your name's Melvin, by the way.
God.
They actually ask him to die for the team a bit later. They even offer him $1. So they're stranded on the roof. They got to get the fuck out of there. So they're like, hey, Bert's got a truck. Bert, let's use your truck. And he's like, okay. And so he shoots at one of the fucking Graboids under the ground. And Reva's like, stop it. And he goes, well, I think I scared it. And I guess he did. The Texas truck.
It crawls under his truck and just decides to tear the shit out of the underneath bit.
Yeah, because he just keeps shooting at it for no fucking reason.
With the elephant gun. This, coveted weapon, apparently. And it's super powerful. He just shoots around with it.
And he's like, we need a goddamn tank. And then Kevin Bacon and Earl are like, oh, the cat. Yeah, they want to go get this fucking, bulldozer. Because they're like, there's no way those fuckers can lift 30 goddamn tons.
Yeah, it was set up a little earlier, because when they were doing their odd jobs and stuff, they were just moving around garbage, I guess, in the dump part of town.
Yeah.
Isn't it all the dump part of town?
So they're like, if we hook up this semi-trailer, we can roll right on out here. But we need a plan to distract it.
So what's her name takes off her pants again.
Again. But that's whenever they go, hey, Melvin, want to make a buck? And he's like, eat it.
Yeah. He's so 90s kid.
Yeah. And then one of the completely underutilized characters, Miguel, is like, hey, he wants this tractor? He can have this tractor.
That's just obnoxiously Mexican.
Yeah. So over the top.
Yeah, like any minute I expect them to have a discussion about badges.
We don't need no stinking badges.
Yeah, that, yeah.
I get you.
All right.
But they got to play rock, paper, scissors while the tractor's taking off to see who's going to run to get the cat. And he's like, look, just let me do it. I'm old and wise. And Kevin Bacon goes, look, you're half right. Fucking bros.
You old and dumb.
But it doesn't matter, because, they throw down, they do their rock, paper, scissors thing, and they argue about what you win or lose or whatever, what qualifies as winning or losing. And then just Kevin Bacon just elbows him in the gut and decides to jump off the building anyways.
He takes off. The tractor flips. They're like, oh shit. The Graboids turn around. They go tearing after Kevin Bacon. They're like, stop, freeze, don't move.
I'm just thinking, because he didn't clear it to the ground. He jumps in that little awning bit first, then he hits the ground.
Dude,
he almost the look he had on his face is like, shit, I broke my pelvis.
Yeah. That would have been great. That's the end of Kevin Bacon's character. He's like, oh, my hip!
Can't get up. Great when he, oh.
He's like, ooh, and the fucking Tremor just comes and eats him.
No more beans and bologna.
So he has this little showdown with two of the Graboids. One's behind him, waiting for him to move. The other one's got one of its little tentacle things swiping under his feet. They lure it back away. He runs over, rigs up the cat, hooks up the trailer, and he comes over and he scoops up the gang.
And it's kind of like this next to heroic moment, right? He shows up, and he scoops up what's her name in the little bucket and everything, and everybody else jumps in that little what do we call that, trailer or whatever, the bad wheels.
And all the while he's running over some of the little dicks too.
Yeah, just to show that they can't stop the cat.
Can't stop till you get enough. Come on.
He even drives it up to old Bert's house, and they're like, goddamn armored transport. Throws in a bunch of these fucking bombs. They're like, "What are these, Bert?" And he's like, "A few household chemicals in the proper proportions." Just so matter of fact about it.
He's been reading that anarchist cookbook.
Yeah.
He talks about how well equipped his house was. He's like, food for 5 years, air filtration, water filtration, Geiger counter.
10,000 gallons of gasoline.
God damn monsters. Just.
And then the movie goes to tell you that as they're waiting for Bert to throw his shit in and to jump in like the little thing, if they stay still too long, those things will eat the ground out from under them and just toss them into the ground.
Yeah, they start trying to, bury them immediately.
And that comes into play later.
Yeah, it does. They're going, and they're like, well, what are those things doing over there? And he's like, I don't give a shit what they're doing over there, as long as they do it way over there.
Yeah. Maybe he should have given a shit.
Exactly, because them motherfuckers dug a goddamn trap.
That's like something you say. Like, the movie turns off in the theater, it's over, and then a guy walks out with a microphone. Maybe they should have given that shit.
Yeah. Alright, so they dug a trap. Let's make a run for those rocks. And I'm just thinking, like, okay, then what? You're on rocks.
Well, they get to the rocks and they get real depressed.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're thinking, like, oh shit, what next? I think at that point they were like X miles away from the mountains. Like, they were in sight at this point, but it's like way, way too far away to start looking at it.
There's no way they're going to make it on foot. They would have needed like 50 of them damn bombs. So they're stuck on the rock, and Bert's the first one to start get like a little suicidal, a little kamikaze. He's like, look, if it comes to starvation, I'm going to walk out there with one of these lit and let him pull me right under. Boom.
Going all Independence Day on him.
I had to like rewind that a little bit because I don't know if any of you guys noticed. Bert said that, and he had like a little bit of a moment with himself, and Reba is looking at him like, what the fuck?
Yeah, she's just lost on him. Like, I married this man?
Yeah.
And then fucking Kevin Bacon character's just sitting there, just chilling, and Earl goes, it's not a bad idea. And I don't know if Kevin Bacon was supposed to laugh or not, but he fucking genuinely starts to lose his shit.
Well, it's because he secretly had a crush on Reba this whole time.
Oh, I mean, who didn't? Do you see that hair?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Smells of McIntyre.
He's like, like fishing. And then they fucking do the bombs up like a lasso. And, of course, Bros, Kevin Bacon's got to give him a hard time. He's like, you ain't going to do your lasso thing, are you? He's like, you're just mad because you ain't good with one.
They're so flirty.
It's the fellas.
He's throwing rocks out there trying to lure one to the surface. And then once they get it, they throw the bomb out there and drag it kind of like a little bunny rabbit or something. It sucks it down. Boom! Fucking shit goes everywhere. It looks like a pumpkin exploded as they get coated in all this gross fucking orange viscera.
And may I just say, yeehaw.
Like, not every moment's a yeehaw moment, but this is a yee fucking ha.
Definitely. One left. Old Stumpy.
Yeah, after the last one gets turned into pumpkin spice, there's only one left, and they're just running out of ideas because they tried the same little rock trick, but he's not falling for it. He must be the smartest guy.
He is a big mother humper.
So then they get the bomb, they throw it out there, they're like, we're going to do it anyways, he'll eat it, watch, he'll eat it. And sure enough, he eats it, but that grabby boy just spits it right back.
He's got the greatest aim of all time or whatever. Not only does that pipe bomb get thrown back at him, but it so happens to fall in the pile of other pipe bombs that Bert brought along with him.
Yeah. Everyone runs for fucking cover. There's a gigantic explosion. Val, Earl, and Rhonda somehow end up in the dirt. And Val has one bomb left in his hand. So it's Val, Earl, Rhonda, one bomb, and a grabby boy. What's going to happen?
I'd vote for Grabby Boy for the actual name for these things.
Grabby Boy? Alright. They want him to throw the bomb so they could get out of there.
At this point, I wasn't actually sure if he had a plan or not, or if he was just going to make shit up.
Yeah, because the film doesn't really show his plan. Like, there's no whatever. He just has it, then he just takes off. It doesn't really show the cliff or anything either.
Yeah, and he never explains the plan to anyone else like this fucking thing would understand him.
And I think the movie thinks that the audience, like, oh yeah, they'll remember this is where they started in the movie, and that's where he's peeing off that cliff. But I didn't get that until way after the fact, where I kind of had to think about it.
Yeah, I didn't get it until you just said it right there.
Yeah, it's almost like a full circle, whatever, Kevin Bacon. You get it.
So he takes off running. but he ain't got the lighter. So all three of them have to take off running together. Rhonda hands him the lighter. They're like, light it, light it. He's like, not yet, not yet. And he lights it, and he throws it, and it lands behind it. Like, oh, you missed. And it blows up. And there we get the dirt torpedo just fucking cruising super fast at old Kevin Bacon, who's like, the camera's right up on him, and he gets this really dumb jump scene where he's like, ugh! And it looks really...
What was he like?
Ugh!
Oh, okay.
And he dives over it.
That Southwest parkour.
Yeah. And it busts out the side of the cliff and plummets to its doom, busting open like a fucking rotten sweet potato.
Dude, it was either that or like some really gnarly fucking pinata.
Yeah, it was like a Hot Pocket.
Oh man.
Hot Pocket.
Points go to Hot Pocket.
Sponsor us.
And they're like, well, how'd you know that would happen? He was like, well, you know, hashtag Stampede.
And then they start laughing. They like high five, credits roll. Don't you forget about me. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even endearing. That's what kind of bugs me. It's like, I get it, but what?
Yeah, but it just cuts to them fixing the truck, talking about, you know, how they're going to get famous in National Geographic. Rhonda comes over, he snatches all the pictures out of the truck, like, oh shit. And he's like, gotta keep it casual, gotta keep it casual. And then he has to run up on her, and he's just looking at her. He doesn't say anything, but it's clearly like, I just want to kiss your face so bad.
And then they do. He graboids her face.
And we finally get a Reba song as the movie wraps.
It's a whatever song.
Like,
it's not the Reba song.
Being a hero, what's her attraction to him? I mean, I guess he's a hero, right? Yeah, I guess.
It's kind of like that Florence Nightingale syndrome or whatever.
Yeah, but his personality is pretty much, he's a skeleton that happens to be a cowboy. What's the attraction?
I mean, think about it. She saved him more than he saved her.
True.
And
he's not even a real cowboy, right? He's like
he's wearing tight jeans.
He is.
You know what she saw that we didn't. He may have had a grabby boy in his pants.
Oh,
dang.
She's like, must be and he's like, nope, just one.
It's like the end of Young Frankenstein, where Gene Wilder's like, you know, it's like some of the other stuff happened too, you know, like that means you must have that big chutzpah or whatever. He just has that look like, yeah, now I got a big dick.
But it comes full circle, just like the film in the wrapping of this. It shouldn't be good, but fuck it is. And I really enjoyed watching this movie. Even when I was taking my notes, I just look up and smile, and I was just happy watching it.
There's like an energy in this movie. I even said it earlier, like I love the back and forth between Earl and Val. That's what kind of it's like it kickstarts the movie and it doesn't really stop.
All right, unpopular opinion here. It was okay. It was just okay. This was a movie and things happened in it. There was some cute dialogue. It was okay.
On that note, that was Tremors, everybody, from 1990. Now it's not everybody's cup of tea.
I put my pinky out while I drank. It was my cup of tea.
When in doubt, worm dick out.
And I'm just going to keep drinking more beer.
So if you guys seen this movie, have anything on your mind, leave it in those comments below.
Oh, shit. That's my part, isn't it? Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Both of those things are important. Please hit that bell icon, too, so you know next time we've got another one of these things going.
You can also follow us on all of our different social media accounts. We got the Facebook, we got the Twitters, and we also have Instagram now. So make sure you get out there and find us on that.
To all of our new followers and subscribers, thanks for supporting the show, and we'll see you guys next week.
Worm dick.
Would you shut up?